Hey guys, welcome back to another video. Today we're gonna change my front tires. So from the last track day, I put the tire pressures probably a little too low just because I did take some sidewall damage. I know with the first track day, it got up to 40 psi hot and now I was running them at 34 psi cold. My most recent track day, I put them at 31 psi and it got up to maybe 35, but like I said, I think it might have been too low just because the front tires did take some sidewall damage. So let's see. So you can see right here how there's some damage now. There's some damage out here. You can even see also almost by where the logo was, the tire was rubbing. My brother actually, he works at a tire shop and he was telling me that I probably should change them just because if there's any inner sidewall damage that the tires could pop if I drive it too hard. So I'm like, you know what, I'll just change it. So I did buy a new set of tires. But the backs are actually good. So that one I run them at 30. I ran the back at 31 psi too. And these look okay, but I think for the next one I'll probably bump them up just a little bit, just because it looks like it took just a tiny bit of sidewall damage, but not much as the front. So you can see in the back, not bad at all. It has these little arrow indicators, and it looks like those didn't take much damage. So I think for the backside I'm gonna run 33 psi. It's cold. I think for the front, because we're getting in new tires, it'll be a slightly different tire. I'll run probably 35 psi cold and see what it gets on the hot. And then I'll keep an eye more on the sidewall. Make sure it's not wearing, just because I can't adjust the camber yet. So I don't have any adjustable suspension yet. So I think that's one of the main reasons too, is just doesn't have enough negative camber. So when I do a hard turn, the whole wheel moves in and cause some sidewall damage. But with the 40 psi, looks like it just took a little bit of sidewall damage, but this one it took a lot worse. And we can see the other side too. You can see where it kind of scuffed on the sidewall. Like I said, also by the logo, you can see it kind of got down there too, so kind of significant. And then later in this video, I was gonna make this video about the tires and also changing the brake lines to some steel braided, but I ordered those last week and I still haven't got them back yet. We're actually gonna remove the gas tank off the Project Civic, so that's my next step. So we'll be draining it, removing it, seeing if it looks okay. If it's not rusty, we're gonna run it with the same tank, but if it's rusty, I'll go ahead and buy a new tank. And then also see how the fuel pump assembly looks, and we'll also replace that if needed. But if not, I'll run everything. I'm sure the fuel lines are okay, but if I do really need to replace them, I can run AN lines. But for now, usually stock fuel lines do okay with added power. But that'll be later in this video. All right, so I'll show you guys the tires. Okay, so these are the tires. So some Falcon, oh my gosh, there's Falcon Zeeks. I don't know how to pronounce them. These are some all season tires that I got. They're 225s, 40 R18s, which is what on the stock wheels, which it usually takes. Only difference I can see right here was tread wear. It looks like it's 500, traction A, temperature A. On these ones over here, looks like tread wear 640, traction A, temperature A. And these are all weather tires, not all season. So I think these are more built for the winter too, compared to these ones here, which are more, I guess, all season. So not as good as in the winter, but I think I'm imagining a little better in the summer. So like I said, my brother works at a shop, so we'll be heading over there next. Hi guys, so I made it to the tire shop and we're getting rid of the front tires. And then I'll show you right out once we get them off and actually mount them. All right, one tire's off. We're gonna get the other side next. All right guys, I just got back home. We got the new tires on now. Let's take a look. So yeah, a lot thicker tread. And then yeah, the last thing is I need to check, I guess before we go to the track, tire pressures. So this side, good too. So it's like when we took off those old tires, it looks like you can see there's more outside wear starting from the middle to the edge. There's a lot more wear than the inside. And I think that's probably partially due to the tire pressures, of course. I think mostly too from the cambers. But the next step now is we're gonna start working on the Civic and getting that fuel tank out. All right, it's the next day. So like I said, today we're going to take out the fuel tank. But the funny thing is, this morning I sent an email to the people that I bought the brake lines from, and I'm like, oh, what's going on? They sent me a tracking number. I searched it up. It's delivered. I go check my mailbox and it's in there. So I do have those brake lines, but I was already had the mindset of going in and just doing the fuel stuff. So I'm gonna do that, and then I'll install these brake lines another day, and we'll do another video on that. For now, we're gonna jack this car up, see where I need to drain the fuel, and then we'll go ahead and drain it. All right, so I tried to jack up the car from the back, but the whole car started to move. So I'm like, yeah, I can't do that. So what I'm gonna do before I try to take out the tank, I'm just gonna take off the top, take out the fuel assembly, and see how it looks. And if it looks good there, I'm just gonna try to siphon the gas out before I try to take out the tank. So I feel like it's gonna be a lot harder to try to take out the tank, just because I can't jack up the back, or else the whole front starts to move back a bit. So I don't want that to happen. So we'll see what I do. Okay, so we got the back seat out. Next thing is to get this thing off, and then we'll try to get the rest of the assembly out. Okay, so I got the gas pump out, and I mean, it doesn't look rusty at all. So I'm hoping the fuel looks good. Okay, y'all will be my eyes. Oh, actually does not look bad at all. The fuel is very clear. It's in there. You just can't tell because it's so clear. But I think I'm good enough to actually siphon it out. That is very good news. So next step is figure out how to siphon that out. And once I do that, I mean, everything else looks good, so I don't have to buy anything new. So that just make everything a lot easier. So I got this nifty little siphon from Harbor Freight, and it's making it a lot easier to get it out. See, the bucket's almost full. So we're gonna keep going, make sure we get everything out. All right, now I'm just gonna make sure nothing's left in there, so I'll use you guys as my eyes again. All right, it looks empty to me. Actually, it wasn't that much in there. There's only, well, it's like maybe 3 gallons. It's only filled it partially. So that's a lot easier. Now the next step, I'm just gonna put the fuel pump back inside, reconnect the lines. I'm gonna use the same fuel lines, just because the stock ones can handle a lot of power. I'm not gonna run that much power on this car, just maybe 350 horsepower probably to the wheels, if the engine works. So we'll see. So yeah, let's put that back in, and then I'm gonna get rid of the old exhaust. It still has like the stock exhaust partially on there. I think we cut it off from the front, and it just has the rest just going back. So yeah, let's go on and do that next. So it looks like it's just on the hangers. I guess the only hard part I see is getting that muffler out. I mean, if it gets stuck, I guess the only option would be just to cut the pipe in half. But it doesn't really matter, just because I'm not gonna be getting rid of it anyways, not using it. And I'm sure we're probably gonna build, well, at least I'm gonna try to build an exhaust and buy a welder too, so that'll be a good excuse to buy a welder for later on. All right, guys, finally got the exhaust out. Had to cut it in half. Nothing a Sawzall can't fix. So those always come in clutch. All right, so that's it for today. When we come back to this project, we have to install the power steering or the rack and pinion. So after the first video on this project, I did a little bit of research, and it looks like the manual rack and pinion probably won't be the best for me, at least in this situation, for the track, just because it increases the steering ratio. I think that's right. I'm pretty sure it's increasing it, where I have to turn the steering wheel more times to get full lock. So I think it's like 2. And then with the power steering rack, it's a lot less turning of the steering wheel to move the wheels full lock. So, which means I have to buy everything for the power steering. So I got to buy power steering rack and pinion. I got to buy the power steering lines. I got to buy the power steering pump. And that's pretty much it. So once they come back to this, I'll be installing all those components. Other than that, guys, thanks for watching, and we'll see you on the next one.